To solve the problem, part 4, all other parts down below. I think it's pretty clear the common theme here is I need to talk to a lawyer. I'm calling first thing tomorrow morning. I need to stop engaging her and stop caring about what she's done. I will also get my own phone plan within the next couple days. Do I just send her a text saying, "Hey, I'm getting my own plan, you have X amount of days to figure yours out"? I know most of you will say just do it and don't tell her, but I don't want to cause any more drama than there needs to be. It's hard because I'm trying to keep the peace so things don't get nasty, but I also need to stop catering to her and concentrate on myself only. Just got home. Took a drive up north with some friends to see and stay with my buddy's parents. I had a great time, but it was a little hard because my STBX and I used to go up there a lot together. It is weird though, I miss what we used to have when things were good, but I do not miss her and who she has become over the past couple years. Sort of a big week. I have my buddy who is going to be my realtor coming over this week to start the process. I left a message with the lawyer's office and should hear back from them tomorrow. It's a little tough taking these steps towards my new life, but I also know that I have no choice. I deserve to find my happiness again. It's funny, more and more people from work and old friends are hearing about our soon-to-be divorce and are coming out of the woodwork asking questions. I keep it short and simple. Everyone loves drama, but drama is something I do not need right now. I have gotten a couple. I should introduce you to my niece, friend's daughter. Neighbor's daughter's dog sitter's neighbor type of stuff. At some point I'll take those offers serious, but I'm not ready for that yet. I emailed my wife a couple days ago regarding the fact that she still hadn't gotten her own car insurance and still hadn't changed her direct deposit to her own account. Well, she emailed me back yesterday, has her own insurance and is going to the bank today to remove herself from my account. I'm glad she did these things, but it was still tough to sit back and think about how the steps towards a life without her are beginning. The common theme that I keep hearing from family and friends of mine are that I will find someone at some point who will love me for me and have the same life goals, values. It feels good to hear that, but it's still tough to see that right now. I am anxious to get my house sold, trade in my old SUV and finally get myself a nice vehicle and move forward. My plan is once I sell and move out of my house, I will start the divorce process. Right now it feels weird saying and thinking about that, but I don't know that it has fully hit me yet. I think the hardest thing right now is seeing coworkers and friends happily married or in relationships. I miss that, but then again, I feel like I've somewhat enjoyed my independence recently. This weekend my dad is coming over Saturday morning to help me with some minor repairs around the house. Then I have a fantasy football draft in the afternoon, followed by a BBQ at a buddy's house that evening. Sunday I'll probably end up at my parents' house for dinner in the evening for a nice home-cooked meal. As for tonight, I'm really pushing myself to start packing up stuff. I have a garage full of empty boxes waiting to be filled. My wife's office is jam-packed with crap, so I'm going to tackle that tonight while blasting some music. I would tell her to come pack it up herself, but I don't feel like having her here for hours, and who knows when she would even make the time to do it. I'll box it up and label it, throw it in the garage and let her know she can come pick it up. I'm really making the sale of my house a priority. Once that is done and I'm moved out, I'll start the divorce process and get myself back out there meeting new people. That's the plan anyway. She's coming over this afternoon to pick up more stuff. Me being the person I am, I sent her a text yesterday and said that I was starting to pack up her office and wanted to give her one last chance to come do it herself. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but it felt right to me. Anyway, I found out that she is going to Mexico again next weekend for another med mission trip. You know, I have a lot of respect for people who take time out of their life to help the less fortunate, but it stings a bit seeing that she has taken 2 of these trips in the past 3 months. I look back at how she never had time to work on our marriage and uses the excuse of being so busy all the time, but she finds the time for trips to Mexico. Sort of kick in the gut type of feeling. A good friend of mine's girlfriend was talking to me last night and asked how I was doing with all this crap. She was surprised when I told her that I plan on being the one to file for divorce. She thinks that my wife should be the one to do it since she is the one who initiated the split. I explained to her that if I sit here and wait for my wife to file, who knows how long it'll take or if it would ever happen. My friend's girlfriend just finished nursing school and we started talking about how she is going to keep an eye on some of her good-looking fellow nurses for me, lol. It feels good to have conversations like that, knowing that other people see that I am a good guy and want to hook me up with people, but it's also weird that I'm at that point with all of this where my friends are helping me move along with my new life. Last night I went to a BBQ at my buddy's house and saw a lot of old friends that I hadn't seen in a while. It was nice, but also got annoying because naturally I was asked a lot of questions about my situation. It is what it is, so I'm not going to hide it from people, but last night I just wasn't in the mood to talk about it. I only stayed for a couple hours and left. A couple buddies of mine sent me text messages giving me crap for leaving so early, but I don't know. I just didn't want to be there, plus I was pretty tired, haven't been sleeping very well lately. I was just talking to my dad about my lack of sleep lately. I've noticed my emotions are on high alert and worse since I've been struggling with sleep. I'm going to look into seeing someone this week about that and just about other coping issues I'm having with all this. I'll probably call my employee assistance program and get a list of names. Shrinks, not just a nurse practitioner or general practitioner. I know they wouldn't do much good. As for my attitude, I'm trying hard to keep it as positive as I can, but I'm still all over the place with my mood. But I'm doing my best. Well, I can't say that I'm surprised. I just got a text from her and she isn't coming over today to pack up some of her stuff. Her excuse was that she really needs to study for her test tomorrow. I replied with, if you can't make it over here within the next few days, I'll start packing for you. She's coming Wednesday morning. I won't be here, so it should be interesting to see how much she actually gets done. I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty upset right now. I'm trying to be as amicable as I can while keeping my integrity, but it's getting harder and harder. Again, I go back to the fact that she can't take 2 hours out of her Sunday to pack, but she can spend a whole weekend in another country for a mission trip. This was the last straw for me in terms of doing things on her schedule. The next time she cancels or postpones something like this, I won't give her another chance. I'll just do it myself. I just want to punch a hole in my wall right now and scream. I was having a great day up until now. I'm not at that point where I feel it okay to throw all her crap out in the yard. Some people may not agree with some of my decisions, but the last thing I want is to start a big drama fest and cause an ugly divorce. Believe me, part of me would love to just throw all her crap in bags and toss it in the street, but until the papers are signed, it is important to me that I continue to try and take the high road and be the bigger person. I have made a commitment to myself that I will no longer let her cancel or postpone days that she is supposed to pack or pick things up. I'm done letting that happen. From here on out, I'll tell her how much time she has and when it works for me, and if she can't meet those demands, then I will pack stuff for her, keep it in the garage for a short period of time before it gets thrown out. Yes, she tore my life apart and I'm struggling to find my happiness again. All the while it seems like she is doing fine, but knowing her, I think it affects her and pushes her buttons more if I act like I'm doing great and not affected by this. Me showing anger towards her right now is weakness in her eyes. I am not weak. I am strong. She doesn't deserve to even think I'm weak or get the satisfaction that I may be struggling with this still. My realtor came over Wednesday evening. We settle on a listing price and a date to put the house on the market. Monday the 21st. That same evening, I emailed my STBXW, told her that her stuff has to be out of the house by no later than Saturday the 19th. I also said in my email that this is a priority, and if she can't be on board with this fast schedule, I'll pack and move her stuff into storage. Leave it there for 1 week, then it's going to Goodwill. Well, she took the bait and said she would have her stuff out before Saturday the 19th. Today I worked from home for a few hours this morning and spent the rest of the day packing up as much as I could. Wall decorations, bedroom, bathroom decorations, and ripped up a lot of pictures. It was tough. I'm not going to lie, I really struggled, but it needed to be done. I now have a garage full of boxes. I packed up a lot of her crap and labeled the boxes, put them in the garage, and sent her a text telling her where they were and that I expect them to be moved when she comes for the big stuff. We have come to a pretty decent agreement on who gets what. I think the idea of money in her pocket from when the house sells are adding to her all of a sudden attitude to be available to get her crap. Like I've stated before, based off of a state law, she gets half of the profit I make on this house, even though she didn't pay crap over the past 6 years. This evening I had dinner with the neighbors. Tomorrow I have 8 of my buddies coming over for a fantasy football draft, BBQ. Sort of the last get-together at my house before it's on the market. I'm looking forward to it, but it's also crappy. I'm excited to get this house sold and move on. My plan is to get the house sold and the next step is filing. I know that will be tough emotionally, but I'm ready to start my new life. My question to you all is, when she does come back to the house to pick up the rest of her stuff, should I be here? I mean, it's not as simple as a handful of clothes. It's big stuff like furniture. Part of me is thinking I need to be here just in case. Plus, it's my house. I want to know who will be helping her walking around my house. I had a bunch of buddies over Saturday night and they were all asking me when I'll be ready to date again. I couldn't answer it. I have days where I feel excited to meet a great woman who will treat me the way I deserve to be treated, but then I have days where I get a knot in my stomach thinking about starting over a new relationship with someone. I had plans last week to find an independent counselor and get that ball rolling. Well, that didn't happen. I feel like I'm in a rut this past week. I know things will not change until I make them change. Hoping for a better week this week. Like I've said before, I don't miss her as the person she is now, but I'm still missing what we had when things were good. I hate having these feelings still. I guess the one positive I can take out of this weekend is that I got everything of hers aside from some of her clothes packed up and into the garage. Now the only time she will need to come to my house is when she picks everything up. I don't have to worry about having her here for hours on end packing. She texted me today saying she wanted to come over to pick up some boxes. Said she is free all day Wednesday. I told her she can come anytime after 5 p.m. I'll be home from work by then. I'm going to be cordial but short with her, all business. My goal is to get her in and out as quick as possible. You all have opened my eyes regarding my slump I've been in. I'm not 100% okay, but today was a little better than the past week has gone. Thank you. I just need to work on progression. I'm finding that my biggest problem is I say all these things I want to do, but when it comes time to do them, I make excuses or find reasons to postpone them. I need to stop, and I will be working on that. Well, she just left. We literally only talked about business stuff. I helped her. Yes, I said I helped her load her car with the remaining clothes she had in the closet and some boxes. I wanted to move this along, so if that means me helping her load her car, so be it. Her car is tiny, so it wasn't much. We walked through the house and talked about all the random small stuff that still needs to be packed and divided up. She first suggested we have a packing day together, but after I explained that I did not want to do that, we came to an agreement that I will spend said packing. Was already my plan, and whatever else is left in the closets and extra rooms she can have. We've already split up the valuable items. I'll be gone all day Sunday, so she is coming to the house to pack up the remaining items I didn't want. She was fine attitude-wise up until the end when we were carrying her stuff out to her car. She got very quiet and was in a rush. Before she left, she had tears in her eyes and said, "Sorry, this is just really hard." I told her I know it is. We gave each other a half a $sign hug and she left. So, I guess I can say it went the way I wanted it to, quick and to the point. I'm not going to lie, it was hard for me to see her cry even with all the anger I have inside towards her in this situation. I look back at the start of our separation and how I was the emotional one. I was the one who was crying and she was the one acting like nothing was wrong. I often wondered if she was acting this way because our marriage meant nothing to her, and I wondered if she'd ever get to the point where she finally feels what I've been feeling this whole time. Well, I think it's all finally starting to hit her. She's finally seeing and realizing that this is over and things are moving forward. But I also realized tonight that I have a lot of work to do. I'm still not fully over her. She's still very, very attractive to me, and it still kills me to see her cry despite the anger I have. My house will be on the market in less than 2 weeks, meaning in less than 2 weeks she will have no reason to come to my house, and I can start back on the road to fixing myself. I have my plan, and the first step is almost over. 2 weeks later, I've been busy moving things into storage and working on the house. I had a pretty rough weekend. The whole process of packing and moving things out of the house was weird. I had a lot of mixed emotions: anger, resentment, regret, and of course sadness. Feels weird walking around an empty house. All the memories of what our plan used to be and what our dreams were have been flushed down the toilet, but it still hurts. I'm sure that is all normal. Other than that, nothing new is really going on. I'm trying to get in to see a lawyer next week to at least make sure I know what I'm in for. I have a lot of questions regarding finances. Haven't heard much from the STBX the last couple weeks, which is a good thing. I will be the one to file. I know she doesn't have it in her to do it. She's too busy anyway, right? Yes, I've cut her off completely. She'll know as soon as the house is sold because she still keeps in close contact with the wife of my neighbor buddy across the street. I received a text message from my STBX cousin who lives out of state. Her cousin and I were very close over the years, when her and her husband had their daughter. They named my wife and I the godparents. She and her daughter are visiting family in my state in November. She wants to meet for lunch so I can see her and my goddaughter, who is only 2 years old. I'm going to take her up on the offer. It felt good to get that text. My STBX does have a few family members that I will keep in contact with. I guess I don't see a reason to shut them out just because my marriage is over. I really need to get a gym routine going. Weight-wise and overall internal health, I'm great, but yeah, if I were to play in a pickup basketball game, I would definitely need a breather here and there. I spent about 2 hours set a morning doing yard work and then another couple hours loading up my truck with fairly heavy items by myself, taking a couple trips to the storage unit. I was wiped out afterwards, but it felt good, so I could only imagine how good it would feel to play some ball again or get in a nice gym routine. Now that it's finally starting to cool off, I do plan on golfing more. It's relaxing and it's always a great time with buddies. My house has been on the market for less than a week and I already accepted an offer. After some negotiating, I received a full price offer, so I'm pretty excited about that. Really weird though, the last page of the paperwork I had to sign last night was a letter from the buyers and a photo of them. I can't make this stuff up. They are a young couple, first-time home buyers and getting married next year. They talked about how my house is perfect for them to start their family and how happy they are that they found it. It was a bit ironic and tough reading it. They literally mirror my STBX and I when we first moved into that house. Same plans for the future and all. Anyway, aside from the house stuff, nothing new is really going on. I kept telling myself that as soon as I sold my house, I'd start the divorce process. So here we go. I'm going to start looking into it tonight when I get home. I sure hope it goes as smooth and quickly as the house sale went. I have an old coworker that has been through a divorce in the last 5 years or so. I'll pick his brain today and see if he has a good recommendation for me. On a side note, there was a small linen type of closet that I didn't even think about that was full of a bunch of crap that belonged to my wife. She had been asking me to send her dimensions of the couch and bed set she's taking. but I kept pushing back, saying you can measure when you come to pick up the stuff from the linen closet. Well, she came over last night. I sat at the kitchen table on my work laptop while she measured the stuff and grabbed the crap from the closet. The couch is a huge sectional and the bedroom set is solid wood. Very, very heavy. She said she is hiring movers to come pick up the couch and bed set this Saturday morning. I was relieved to hear that. Last thing I want is some of her friends from witch doctor school trying to lug 2 big dressers down my stairs, putting holes in my walls. Anyway, it was all business. We didn't really talk at all except short quick questions she had and then a short goodbye when she left. Of course, I still have anger inside about all this, but I'm still trying to keep it the way it is without any drama. I'd love it if I could get through this divorce without drama or surprises. I'll keep you all posted, but like I said, you all gave me the kick in the back I needed in regard to finding a lawyer. I have a consultation appointment at 3 p.m. next Tuesday with the lawyer my buddy from work used for his past divorce and currently uses with his child custody issues. I'm hoping I can at least get my questions regarding her student loans and the sale of the house answered for now. We no longer share any assets, and with all honesty, the debt she has is her debt under her name only, and same for me. I will take what I can get out of the consultation appointment and go from there on whether I need to go back or not. I would really like to do this divorce without lawyers, as I don't have a lot of money laying around for lawyer fees. To tell you the truth, she hardly has a pot to X in financially, so my guess is that she would agree on not getting lawyers involved. The last few communications with her have been fine. I think we are both on the same page regarding our communication. As awkward as it is and annoying, it seems to be okay right now. No fighting. I've done really well not showing her my anger yet. I still don't feel that she deserves to see me angry. She has a newer car, but it's a piece of garbage. I, on the other hand, am still driving my old car, which I will be getting rid of after the sale of the house. I'm planning on finally buying myself a new vehicle, something nice. I've been looking at new Jeep. I've never had a brand new vehicle, but now that I can afford one and with the crap I've gone through, I feel I deserve it. I've saved all receipts for all the work and things I've had to pay for to get the house on the market. I'm planning on deducting a portion of that from her share of the house profit. I think one of the things that's bothering me recently is when and how I will start dating again. I went to my cousin's son's 2-year birthday party yesterday, and it bothered me seeing all the young couples and their kids. That's what I've wanted for years. Now I'm having to start all over, and it is a little scary to think about. I haven't really met anyone yet in regard to dating, but I also struggle to see where and when I would. I know I need to fix myself first before I can really give anything to a woman, but part of my current sort of depression is the fact that I'm alone and haven't met anyone yet. I know it's only been 5 months since she left, but this whole being alone thing is killing me. My goal this week is to make an appointment with an IC. I found 3 that seem like they could be a good fit. I just need to pick one and go with it. I'm hoping some IC will really help my current attitude and mood towards all of this and my future. Also, I went to a birthday party for my good friend's 1-year-old daughter, Sari. A family friend of theirs whom I've only met a few times was talking my ear off about someone she knows that she wants to hook me up with. This woman is a few years older than me, but actually just finalized her divorce from her husband a few months ago. Sort of a similar story to mine. She wanted to start a family and he wasn't ready. Once he was ready, they found out he couldn't have kids, and also the guy was hiding a bunch of debt and other things from her. Anyway, the mutual friend showed me a few pictures and told me all about this woman. I didn't refuse, but also didn't make any plans. We'll see if that goes anywhere. I did tell her that I am not ready to jump into a relationship right now, but also wouldn't mind spending some time with someone. I kept myself busy this weekend. I only worked for a few hours this past Friday, so I spent the day doing some yard work and walking around the mall trying to figure out what gift to get a 1-year-old. Wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. Stayed home from work today with what seems to be the flu. Luckily, I am able to log in from home and do some work, but just being home all day in the middle of the week sucks. Work has been a great escape from all the crap, so today hasn't been the best, but also I feel like I'm growing. Having a day all alone in my house during the week while being sick a few months ago would have been terrible. I've enjoyed my time alone in my house while the sale goes through, but I am ready and looking forward to moving out of this house and taking the next step forward. I need some advice though. I am getting very close to starting the divorce process, and I want to let her know. Part of me thinks we need to talk face to face to ensure that we are still on the same page, with her debt as her debt and mine as mine. That is basically the only major thing lingering over this upcoming divorce, since we have no children and we've already split up all of our stuff. Should I text her or email her telling her that we need to talk? Although I have a lot of anger towards her, I'm still in the mindset that I want to keep this as civil as possible and avoid any drama. Fighting, therefore I don't want to just spring divorce paperwork on her without her knowing. Also, I feel like she needs to pay for half of the fees. Someone from work told me that if we can do it all on our own, it will still cost around $1,000. She needs to pay for half of that. Us talking face to face certainly won't be fun or easy, but I believe it's the right thing to do. Well, today would have marked our 7-year wedding anniversary. Feeling a little sad, upset, pissed off and regretful today. Last night I went out with a buddy and had a great time. It was good to get out and get my mind off of stuff. But waking up this morning was hard. I know this divorce is for the best, but it's still tough today. Had some hiccups with the house. I was supposed to close on the 17th. Then they said they couldn't close until December, which would have meant another mortgage payment. After a couple days, my realtor came back and said we should be closing this next week. Keeping my fingers crossed on that one. Weeks later, just talked with my realtor. It's all done. 2 weeks ago, I texted my STBXW asking her if she could call and cancel the DirecTV service at our old house. I tried, but it was one of the only bills we had that was under her name, so they wouldn't let me do it. She says, "Oh yeah, I'll do it tomorrow, blah blah blah." I left it alone and didn't ask. I get a text today out of the blue saying that she was going to add me as an authorized user to the DirecTV account so that I can call and cancel it to avoid confusion. I asked her what confusion she had, and she said that it would be confusing since I have the cable boxes and I need to know where to turn them in or how to send them back. I sat there for a while and didn't text her back. About an hour later, she texts me back saying, "Never mind. You took too long to respond, so I canceled it, and they will be sending you postage information to ship the boxes back." I just replied with okay. With that said, I was pissed for a little bit that she couldn't do this one little thing, but instead of texting right back with anger, I let it sit and she ended up doing it on her own. Well, seriously, she is like the smartest idiot I know. A few months ago, I would have let my emotions take over, but today I just put my phone down and kept working. Anyway, nothing major, but that's the latest in that saga. And by the way, I bought a new car Sunday, fully loaded. This thing looks brand new, has less than 15,000 miles, and I got a smoking deal. Feels good to finally buy something I'm proud of and enjoy my money. Weeks later, had a rough end to my weekend. Saturday night, my good friends had a Christmas party, and just as I suspected, it was pretty much all coupled, and me the Lone Ranger. Said it was also my birthday. About a couple hours into the party, I get a text from STBX, "Happy birthday. I hope you had a great day." Then about 5 minutes later, I got a text from her mom. "Happy birthday. I hope you had a good day. I just wanted you to know that I will always love you no matter what." I simply replied to both texts with "thank you." Yeah, the texts weren't bad, but I could have gone without receiving them. It sorts of ruined my night. I woke up yesterday in a fog, just feeling like crap and analyzing the stupid text messages. I had a meltdown yesterday and cried for the first time in months. I know that this process is a big roller coaster, but it pissed me off that I had the meltdown and wasn't able to control my emotions. Needless to say, I spent yesterday lounging around the house watching football and being a sad sack. I woke up feeling better today, but still find myself thinking of stuff that hasn't crossed my mind in a while. Stuff as simple as, how did I get into this terrible situation? Questioning why I haven't pulled the trigger yet on filing for divorce. I've been getting advice from coworkers to use a paralegal to help with the divorce process. So now I'm at the point of literally Googling paralegals. I also drafted up an email to my wife. We both agreed a long time ago that neither one of us would file without letting the other know about it, and I plan to stick by that agreement. My email is short and sweet, but for some reason I couldn't get myself to push the send button last night or even this morning. Anyway, that's where I'm at right now. I am looking forward to time with family this week for Christmas, but this first Christmas without STBX is sort of getting to me. This might be a dumb question, but any of you have any experience with a paralegal, maybe even used one for a divorce? Is it as simple as looking online and choosing one? I left a message with the lawyer that I saw for a free consultation a while back, basically asking if he had a paralegal that could simply help me in gathering all the correct paperwork. Should I wait until that is all set before I send the email? I'd like to have things set with the lawyer's office when I send the email, instead of sending it now with no real answers. I need to move on. Yes, I need to file. But legally right now I cannot take her off of my insurance. Is my third option just not even sending her the new card? Cause I'm fine with that too. I have a call back to a lawyer's office tomorrow to talk with his paralegal about starting the divorce. And by the way, I am not thinking for one bit that reconciliation is in the cards. She ducks me over too much for me to even want her back. As far as I know, she is not working full-time. She is a full-time student at the witch doctor school, and I'm sure still just working part-time here and there at the office. As for running to the doctor, she's never been that type of person. I can say that she has some sort of prescription as of a month ago. I was getting automated calls from the pharmacy for a prescription refill, and it wasn't mine. I since sent her a text to fix her account so I could stop getting the annoying calls. Not sure what the prescription is for. Probably birth control or some crap, or maybe some crazy witch doctor meds. Well, I did more research today while at work and reached out to an old neighbor friend who recently divorced his wife. He suggested a company called the Divorce Store. Yes, it's a real thing. I called and they explained that for a fee they will prepare all the documents for the divorce, get it notarized, and send it to the courts to file. I've decided that this option seems the most logical and easiest option I have. I plan to call them back tomorrow morning to schedule an appointment to start the process. With that said, I sent STBX an email right after I was done talking to them. In short, I told her that the most realistic next step for us is divorce. I explained to her my plan to get it filed. I also asked her to agree that her debt is her debt, mine is mine. All assets have already been split and that we would split the fees of the divorce. I said that after I'm done with the appointment, I'll let her know the next step. Whether she needs to go there on her time to sign documents or what. I thought to myself I'll be sitting here for at least a full 24 hours before I get a response from her. I was wrong. She literally replied to my email within 15 minutes. Her email was very short and to the point like mine. She agreed to the terms and also agreed to split the cost of the divorce. She also thanked me twice, once for taking the time to send her the heads-up email and once for taking the time to research the best option to get the divorce process started. She then talked about how this is her last week of break from school and starting Monday she will not have any time outside of school and work. Basically, her way of telling me she won't be of any help, same old crap I've been hearing for years. Anyway, I do feel a little weight lifted off my shoulders after sending that email and her responding to it so quickly, but also I feel sad, pissed off and just flat out upset. I know 100% that our marriage is over and that it is certainly for the best, but it's still very hard. My comment, OP is doing well. Let's see if he keeps doing well. I will try to finish the story within the videos for tomorrow. So stay tuned, and let's hope there is something to be learned from OP.